My name is Father Charlie Goraieb, and this is the third portion of my reflections on Mary, the Mother of God. Before I talk any more about the theology or how Mary fits into our lives, I'd like to talk to you personally about my experience with the Blessed Mother. And while I was studying for the priesthood, I wanted very much to draw closer to Mary. And I knew that Mary was important for priests, but honestly, I didn't have a reference, a personal reference. I understood it intellectually, but it wasn't something that I knew. And the year before I was to ordain, the summer before my ordination to the priesthood, I went to Mexico City, where my family originates, many of my family members, and I went to the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And I spent the entire day there, practically just by myself, walking throughout this huge campus and praying and asking Mary for her help and making that I could be a good priest who would be in persona Christi, like her son. And in a moment that was completely unexpected, our Blessed Mother spoke to me. I knew it was her. It was a feminine voice. It wasn't me. It wasn't audible. It was an interlocution, but it was our Blessed Mother. And she said to me, "I am your mother, and I will go before you as the patroness of your priesthood." I understood that to mean in the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe. So she has been central to my priesthood, and I attribute whatever is good to my priesthood, whatever has been built on grace and the foundation of our Lord, has been assisted by this promise that Mary has kept to me. So now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how some of the saints have looked at Mary throughout the centuries. We'll begin with the greatest of all Marian saints, and that's St. Louis de Montfort. He uses the story, when he's trying to explain Mary's motherhood, the story of Genesis chapter 27 to explain Mary's mediation. Isaac, Jacob's son, is about to die. Isaac, Jacob's father. So he sends for his eldest son, Esau, to go out for food for a final meal before his blessing on his firstborn. Now, Rebekah, Isaac's wife, sees an opportunity for her son, Jacob. So what she does is she prepares a great meal. Because Isaac's eyesight is failing, she then dresses Jacob in camel's hair to represent the rough appearance of her son Esau, and sends Jacob, her son, who's now disguised, in to receive the blessing from Isaac. Now, some would say that this was deceptive of Rebekah and Jacob, but it was God's plan that Jacob would be the descendant of Abraham, who would then be the father of the tribes of Israel, the foundation of the people of Israel. Rebekah acts as Mary does, clothing us in the proper garments and bringing us into the presence of her son and to the Father for his blessings. So this is a very beautiful scriptural example of Mary's mediation, but perhaps the most clear and unambiguous example comes at the wedding of Cana. First, Mary was the first to notice that the wine had run out. So when she comes to Jesus to tell her that, Jesus says, "Woman, how does your concern affect me? My hour has not yet come." Now, Jesus didn't want to solve this problem at that moment because he knew that it would expose him as the Messiah, and he wasn't quite ready to do that. He wasn't ready to be known as the Messiah. But because Mary asked, he did it. Now he says woman. Some say that's a form of disrespect or distancing from her, but it's not true at all. But rather declaring her woman, he's declaring her universality of his mother for everyone else. Oh, she is our mother. Otherwise, she would have approached Jesus, and she was, after all, his mother. Mary then tells the stewards, "Do whatever he tells you." Isn't that what she says to us? In her maternal role as mediator, Mary removes all of our alibis for not going to God. And if we feel unworthy, we are racked with guilt. And if we are racked with guilt, we're overwhelmed by our nothingness. If the circumstances of our life seem to conspire against our happiness, Mary, the Mother of God, presents us to her son Jesus, and then Jesus to God the Father, as if we were the Father's only son or daughter. It's this beautiful example in the story of the wedding at Cana, where we see Mary's mediation most clearly. Our Marian theology throughout the ages has confirmed that good gifts and graces come to us through Mary. That's something that God has assigned to Mary. He's entrusted her to dispense these graces upon us. This is certainly true when we ask her for God's gifts and graces, but it's also sometimes true even when we don't know, when we're not even sure that she's at work. She will sometimes act spontaneously to be the mediator between us and God for these graces. I strongly recommend to each and every one of you to make the consecration to Mary, either through the format of St. Louis de Montfort or Father Michael Gately in his book, 33 Days to Morning Glory. Those of us who have made this consecration to Mary also know that if we give her all the merits of our good actions, she will dispense the grace of those actions to whomever she wills. Don't worry, you'll get yours. She will make sure that you are blessed abundantly. We can entrust these to her. She will use them wisely. There's also another exchange that can take place, one that I think is a great bargain for all you bargain hunters. We give our hearts to Mary, and she gives us hers. Tell me that's not a great deal. Whomever Mary loves, she gives him or her Jesus. She also loves all those who belong to her Son. We are her children as well. When she bore Jesus, she gave new birth to all who were to live by his life. We give thanks to God for the Theotokos, which is Greek for the Mother of God, our Blessed Mother, who tirelessly seeks to draw us to her Son. Oh, may each one of you experience in a new or deeper way the joy and comfort of Mary's motherhood in your life and in your personal ministry, your ministry, whatever that may be. May you be blessed and experience in all of your endeavors that Mary is there not only to serve you, but to bring you into a deeper relationship with her Son, who will energize and bring fruitfulness to your ministry. Mary, Mother of God, we love you. Thank you.